as I was thinking about, being on the show today, I thought, okay, what are signs that a bad habit is kind of becoming problematic? Either already addiction or maybe, it's becoming an addiction. And so I think I have list 5 things here that you should kind of keep an eye out for. Like, if you notice these, you don't have to be real with yourself. And if you notice them, you should really, kind of consider what steps you need to take from there. And one of those steps could be taking this online course, this program that we're releasing in August.
And we're going to put it in the show notes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great. It's called Unlocked Freedom from Addiction.
Cool.
And it's going to be powerful, I think. So these are signs that a bad habit is problematic. Well, first, I would think that if it's unhealthy and does damage, right, then that's problematic.
Sure.
If you catch yourself doing it without thinking, that's problematic. And then once again, so this doesn't have to be all of them at the same time. If any one of these is happening, then it's probably problematic. The third I came up with is that if you recognize that it would take, strenuous effort to stop doing this thing. Some people say, I can stop drinking, whenever I want. Okay, well, if you really think that, then whatever. But if it's going to be hard to do, then that's a sign that you have an addiction. Even if you think you can do it, if you have to put forth, strenuous effort, that's going to be an addiction. 4, and not always, but I think if you notice that it bothers other people, there's a sign that it could be bad. I mean, some people are bothered by everything.
Yeah, sure.
Like chewing loudly, or, they might see you pray in public and say, what are you doing? Well, you should still do that. Right. Even though they don't like it. But, if you notice that other people are bothered by what you're doing, then, just kind of take some time to self-reflect and think, hey, what's going on here? And then we kind of touched on this. We talked about shame. I think, though, is that if you feel guilty about something, that can be your conscience speaking to you. Sure. And your conscience is like God's voice within you. That's how he wrote that into you to guide you. And so if you find that you're doing something and you feel guilty about it, but you keep doing it, well, first of all, thank God that you haven't done enough to kill your conscience, right? Because I know when I was deep in my addiction, I did not care. Right. And so, so if you feel guilty about something, just be real with yourself and reflect and think, okay, do I struggle with this? And then maybe go through the whole list, and are any of these, being checked off? And
well, I'm so glad that we've sort of broaden this out to we're not only talking about addictions to chemicals, right? Be it alcohol or different drugs or even, nicotine or something like that. But we're talking about addiction in general because there's so many addictions that are psychological, right? That have nothing to do with it, right? Ranging from gambling to self-harm to a bunch of things that we've talked about.
Whoa, hey, producer Ben here. If you enjoyed what you saw just now, then go check out the full episode because this is only a snippet. We've got a whole hour talking about stuff just like this. And if you really enjoyed, please drop us a like, subscribe so you never miss an honest to God episode.